you're getting techie. Right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it so much. I know Charlotte does as well. She was so brave and put something on Facebook. I'm just trying to find my notes. Put something on Facebook the other day. I kept telling her to just share with people what's happening, and I know it was really uncomfortable for you, wasn't it, Charlotte? Do you want to say a few words just while I get my notes up, whatever you want to say?
Sorry, unmute myself. Yeah, it was really uncomfortable. I'm not really one to put myself out there like I did, and like sharing my before and after photos. It's not really me. I see lots of other people doing it, you know, on Joe Wicks' page and things like that. I'm like, wow, they look amazing, you know, and yeah, let's face it, some of the before and after photos I took of myself, which I actually did for myself when I was first doing this, you know, I took with my sports bra on and a pair of shorts. They are not going on Facebook, don't worry. No one will ever see those apart from me. Oh, and I think I did send them to Carol, but no one else. Because, yeah, you don't need to see that. But, you know, for me, it was good because it sort of showed me how I did on the 30 days. I don't want to take up too much time, Carol. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you take over and I'll speak a bit at the end.
Okay. Can you guys still see me okay? I'm just doing something on the screen. Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can.
Sorry,
Okay.
I just had to unmute myself.
No, that's fine.
Always have to remember to unmute.
Okay, cool. So just again, massive welcome. This business, the main reason why I've asked everybody to come on, and Charlotte has, is because what she's doing is run by word of mouth referrals, and she's had such a transformation. And I feel to the core of me, it's so important that we share with other people, just in case this helps someone. And it might not be you, it might be someone that you know that knows someone. So just really appreciate you coming on, firstly. We won't take more than half an hour, we'll be finished by 9. And we're going to talk about gut health primarily, and how it can help all aspects of life. So before we start that, my name's Carol Sutton Houghton. I'm a wife, and I'm a mum to 3 children, and I absolutely love helping people with their health and wellness and supporting them to thrive. I truly believe we all have one body, and it's one machine. It's the only one we have. I often think it gets really overlooked, but I love the reminder that our bodies are just like a machine, like a car. It only has one lifespan, and it's up to us and how we treat it. That depends on how good our lives are. So we have this one vessel, and we have to make sure we're providing with the correct nourishments to make sure it keeps running for us. And I know Charlotte's going to touch on this a little bit later, but I was brought up in a generation, I suppose, where my mum, bless her soul, was just always trying each fad diet, and they all worked, but it was never focused on nourishing your body. It was always like a calorie deficit. And I like to think about your body like a car. We give it an MOT every year. We have to legally, don't we? We change the wheels, the oil filter, the brake pads. It's practical knowledge that having a car constantly running, if you don't look after it, is going to break down. But why don't we do this with our bodies? And that's kind of something that I'm really trying to educate people on. I believe when we start to experience malfunction, like illness in our bodies, headaches, bad skin, anxiety, it's a clear indicator that our bodies are needing a service or an MOT. So I love to live life on a prevention over a reaction state. And I've got quite a strong story behind this, which I don't need to share tonight, but I do feel very passionate about helping people understand how, through living in a preventative lifestyle, you should never be ending up in the doctors trying to take something to kind of put a plaster on it. So we all react and seek help once we experience a problem, which is normal. If something happens and most of us book a GP appointment and go to the GP. But what if we switched this mindset to always having a preventative at the forefront of our actions to never have to experience the problems? I really believe that healthy living lifestyle is the most powerful form of prevention, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. I actually make sure my health is my absolute number one priority, which might sound a little dramatic considering I am a mum of 3. It's so busy at the moment, but ultimately it's like that aeroplane scenario, and I actually was an air stewardess for 10 years, but you have to put the mask on before you help others. If you're not looking after yourself, who is there to pour more into your loved ones? It's up to you and up to us to be our absolute best. So I'm going to talk to you about a bathtub analogy. So imagine a big bath, and we have the taps always running. So the tap, so you're turning on the tap, and this is the foods that we eat is going into the bathtub, the drinks that we drink, the environment, the pollution, skincare, stress. That tap is always running. Now, what can happen is our plug is working really hard to drain everything, but over time, with some of the things that are pouring in that don't serve us, it's difficult to drain through, and our plug hole can get really blocked. Now, taps are always on, and your bathtub begins to fill up, and then it starts to overflow, and you've got yourself into an absolute mess with water overflowing everywhere, all over your bathroom. And what happens is we seek help. We go to the GP. And often when we go to the doctors asking for help, we are given a mop. So like medication, so it could be, I've got, problem skin, really bad adult acne. The doctor will give you creams or tablets for it. So that's just mopping up the problem. He's not doing anything with the plug. Or it could be you're feeling very low and depressed, and you go to the doctors and he gives you something for that. It's like putting a plaster over the problem and masking it, rather than looking into the plug hole and what is causing this problem. So I like to think that we can reset and MOT our bodies and unblock that plug hole so that the bathtub works as it should. Now, I just want you all to know I'm absolutely a believer in there's a time and a place for medication. I'm not anti-medication. I've recently had quite a few surgeries and I had to have medication. But I'm sure so many will agree that it's dished out to mask issues, and that can lead to other side effects like require more medication and etc. etc. So there's definitely a time and a place. So we will be talking about some supplements, and before we do that, I want to talk to you why. So before I get started on the gut, I want to mention that I will touch a little bit on these, and in no way do I advocate that supplements should replace real food. They're absolutely not. But in today's world, the nutrient density of our crops and fruits and vegetables is in fact, we're getting far less than we did years and years ago. We live in a world of convenience, with many of our produce being imported, freeze stored, GMO. Facts show that to get the same nutritional value as one apple, something like 50 years ago, we would need to eat 5 apples today. So 5 a day should be more like 15 to 20 a day. The fields aren't being rotated anymore. The soil isn't being allowed to rest. We used to eat in seasonal times, but now we can get strawberries in January. It's just gone crazy. So it's not just our fruit and veggies. So many of our food staples like milk and bread is so processed. Remember when freshly baked bread and milk from the milkman would only last a couple of days? It's just not like that anymore. And there are so many additives and chemicals and preservatives that make it last much longer. But the question is it good for our bodies? And this goes back to how I was brought up on the kind of fad diets that my mum was doing. It wasn't kind of looking at, I'm trying to think of an example, a spread. And it was, I think it was like Flora Light, or it was like eat as much of wafer thin ham as you want. And when you look into the actual nutritional value of the foods, it was awful. It was just loaded with chemicals. I'm going to try not to deviate. So gut health. I absolutely love gut health. It's such a popular subject today, and we are still learning so much about it, but I'm absolutely obsessed with the subject and want to share some top tips with you and see if you can actually learn something tonight. I hope you will. So did you know that our gut health is home to trillions of bacteria? We actually have more bacteria in our gut than we do in our human cells in our body. And our gut bacteria absolutely needs to be in balance for our bodies to function properly. Our gut is known as our second brain, and it's actually responsible for 80% of how our whole body functions, and also our hormonal levels. And actually a huge proportion of our happy hormones are made in the gut, like serotonin and dopamine and melatonin. Serotonin and dopamine are our happy hormones. I think there's actually a proper name for it, but I call it the happy hormones, and they're made in the gut. And not many people think to look at how imbalanced their gut bacteria is when they're feeling a little bit sad or depressed. Melatonin is the hormone responsible for sleep. Again, gut health plays a massive, massive role in the quality of our sleep. And if we have an overgrowth of bad bacteria in the gut, what problems could we experience? So we may struggle to maintain healthy weight. We might have stubborn fat. We experience skin issues, poor quality of sleep, abdominal pains, IBS symptoms, digestive issues, bloating, inflamed joints, more headaches, low immune system, generally feeling low, tired and fatigued all the time. And so often people don't associate these with gut health. So I always think that we can determine whether our gut is in a good state or not, but by just the way we feel. So a question for you guys: do you wake up with vitality every day, like have energy, in a good mood, having slept so well? Do you feel motivated? Are you never getting sick or run down? Because sometimes it is so good to stop and just have a think, am I actually feeling really good today? So we're going to talk about one of the first things that you can do to support your health with the brand that I absolutely love. So the first one is this one. So it's called Gut Health, and it's adding an additional gut support in the form of probiotics, good bacteria, prebiotics, and digestive enzymes. And basically it's an absolute game changer. It comes in a little sachet like this, and it's my absolute all-time favorite gut support supplement, probably the least sexy product we have, but the number one must in my eyes every single day. How I came across this brand, and I'll try and keep this short, was my son had the most awful skin. It just happened overnight. He was about I think he was 15 months old at the time, and it was eczema, because I went to the GP and we were given emollient after emollient after emollient, and nothing would work. And we bought bamboo cotton sleeping bags from Australia and silk clothing from America, and nothing was working. And I just started doing my own research and came across the Gut Health. And this was, I mean, he's 11 now, so 10 years ago, nearly 12. So this was way before gut health was fashionable. And I just really did my research, came across this brand. This is for adults. And I started putting literally a third of this into his milk every day and stopped using all the emollients. And within a month, he was just completely clear. That's my own testimony, but there's so many more now. This one product saves you the hassle of taking 3 separate supplements, as it contains prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. Most of our competitors are in a dairy form or need refrigerating, which means they are unstable. A lot of that bacteria gets damaged by the stomach. Our Gut Health is in a powder form, and you mix it with water, add it to a shake, and it's dormant, meaning it survives the stomach acid and only starts working once it's in the small intestine, which is where it should work. We do actually, I've got them behind me, we do actually have children ones now, which are amazing, and they just go on the tongue and they taste like sweets. It's a game changer. If you've taken antibiotics over the past 4 years, it really should be taken with a probiotic. And I do think the GPs are suggesting that now, which is so good. The antibiotics act almost like an atomic bomb in your gut. It kills all the good and bad bacteria. It can take up to 4 years for your gut microbiome to be fully restored again. And it's down. Yeah, so your immune system is down, and you may experience catching all the bugs. I don't know if you've ever experienced this when you've been sick. You have medication to be sick, and then you keep getting sick, and you keep getting sick, and you keep getting sick, and you just don't know why you're catching everything. And it's normally because your gut health and all the good stuff has just been killed. My eldest used to suffer from recurrent tonsillitis, to the point where she had them out, but she had it 7 times in 1 year, and it was antibiotics after antibiotics after antibiotics, way before I knew about gut health. But what happened was, she was very small. She then experienced thrush, and it wouldn't go away. And now I know it was because all of the bacteria had been killed. So if you know anyone that's had antibiotics and they keep getting poorly, you could suggest, are they taking a probiotic? So some of the things that you can do to help support your gut and body is an elimination diet, which is what we do in our business, and what Charlotte will tell you what she did at the end. And it's basically for 30 days, and it's just gives your body a complete restart. It can help you identify foods that may be making you feel bloated, sluggish, tired, and just not your best, and generally not firing on all cylinders. The main foods that you want to limit or eliminate are gluten, dairy, wheat, caffeine, soy, and alcohol, processed foods, and artificial sweeteners. Now, most people hear this list and they're like, what the hell would I eat for 30 days? And I always say it's like going back to square one when you had an allotment and you had some chickens and we had like a cow. And I say, if you can't grow it or kill it, if you're not vegan, then it shouldn't be on your plate. And I know that Charlotte kind of follows this 80-20 rule now, where you just eat proper food and you cut out all the rubbish and you thrive. You just feel amazing. Stress, I want to touch on this a little bit. So we often see it as a luxury to take care of ourselves, but in reality, we're not giving ourselves anything, we just need to look after ourselves. We give more to others than we do ourselves. So without adequate self-care, stress has an effect on the body and it affects all your systems. Stress has a massive disruption to our nervous system, which releases the stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. Stress affects gut health and digestive system. The body is no longer prioritizing proper relaxed digestion. It's preserving energy, going into the fight or flight and sending blood to the muscles ready to move. So it stops making these vitamins which are created in the gut. Stress creates a weakened immune system. So it's so important to just look after ourselves. Some top tips are schedule time, create a space for you. Some of you might be familiar with this or not. You might think I'm crazy, but I actually set my alarm for 5:30 every morning. I don't have to get up that early, and I do an hour of my own stuff. So I listen to a meditation, I read a book, I do lots of bits and bobs. And when I first started, people were like, what are you doing? And now it's like my sacred time. I just feel amazing. And with our products, we offer real guidance on this, and we kind of give you suggestions on what you can do each day. Breath work, meditation, prayer, mindfulness, and the benefits of meditation are widely recognized. It calms the nervous system. It provides distance between what's in front of you now and your emotional reaction to it. Needless to say, eating well, fresh, clean, whole, nutrient-dense foods, and move your body every day if you can. Right. Greens and protein are literally is my favorite thing. I've got them here. So another thing we can do is load our bodies with antioxidants, healthy protein, vitamins, and minerals. So antioxidants fight free radicals, and they damage and cause destruction in the body, causing aging, and they promote illness. So antioxidants are like the repairers to this damage and help to prevent the destruction, slow down aging, reduce illness and disease. Free radicals are everywhere, and we can't stop them, but we can do our bit to help our bodies. So this is something called our Be Well Superfood Greens. It has 36 freeze-dried fruits and veggies in it. I don't want to tip it all out. I don't know if you can see it there. They are packed with antioxidants, prebiotic fiber. This is absolutely incredible to get extra dose of proper nutrients in your day. It's alkaline forming, and basically they say illness and disease struggles to thrive in an alkaline body. So what we're continuously trying to do is get your body into an alkaline state, and then you can't get sick. I haven't got it with me. I don't know, it's behind me. Maybe Charlotte can. I don't know if you have it, but we do have this in a 3-in-1, which we'll talk about at the end. The next thing is our collagen. So another benefit to both skin and the body is collagen. In your early 20s, your body's natural production of collagen starts to decline. So we can start to experience less firm skin, also more injuries, our ligaments and joints. Then unfortunately with menopause or perimenopause, I don't know if any of you are of that age yet, I certainly am, collagen starts to diminish really rapidly. I can't remember the statistic, but really, really quickly. Now, collagen is great to repair joints and ligaments, as well as keeping the elasticity in the skin, hair, and nail growth. I use this one, which is Skin Elixir Collagen Builder. It contains vitamin C, biotin, hyaluronic acid, and they all contribute to optimizing your skin, hair, and nail health. This is a vegan collagen builder. So it's not derived from bovine or marine, like most competitors. This helps your body produce more of its natural collagen that is designed for your own specific DNA. And studies are querying now just how absorbable the human body and other sources of collagen actually are. So that's why I'm so proud that ours is a vegan collagen builder. We've got these, there's loads of different flavors, but these are the ones that I just, this is all my stuff from downstairs. Protein. So every cell in the body is made from protein. So hitting your protein goals isn't just for people who want muscles. It's important for your skin, your hair, your nails, every organ in your body. It also keeps you nice and full. And actually the recommended amount of protein, like we're not eating enough. And I can send you later, maybe Charlotte can, how to work out with your body weight, how much protein you should actually be trying to achieve every day. So remember, protein means muscle mass, but muscle mass means strength. And I don't mean having huge muscles, strength to support our bodies from injury, knocks and falls that can happen as we age, and our muscle mass will naturally just be depleted. Also adding in extra vitamins and minerals to our diet covers all the bases, ensuring all our nutrient needs are met. As I mentioned at the start, in a world today, our food is so over-farmed, over-processed, humans aren't getting the same amount of nutrients as our grandparents once did, hence the huge surge in vitamin deficiencies and food intolerances that you've probably noticed increase over the past few years. So this is another product that covers all the bases for me. There's two different types here, and it's hard to kind of get it all into half an hour, but this one I love. It's called a meal replacement. I wish it was called a protein booster. It's got 24 grams of protein in it, but in it it's got pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, quinoa, avocado oil. So we are the only ones on the market with avocado oil in it, which is incredible for you and a really healthy fat. Another alternative, this is my husband's, he loves this one, which is the coffee protein. It's just delicious. It's vegan, like no way, got none of the nasties in it. It has 100% amino acid score rating as well. So when you drink it, your body naturally absorbs all of it. It's so, so good for you. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is the fizz sticks, or are the fizz sticks. These come in loads of different flavors. Some of you might have tried one from Charlotte already, or you've heard her talk about them. Everything's cut off the top because they're in a drawer, so they do come with lids. I always chop mine off. So we live in a world that is jam-packed with chores and tasks, and is it any wonder that we reach for a bucket-sized cup of coffee or Monster energy drink or Red Bull or any of those things, wine at the end of the day? This is the best way to break your coffee or fizzy drink addiction. Ask anyone that's tried these and they will tell you how amazing they are. They've got so many benefits to them, but one of the main ones is it's got B12 in it, which most of us lack. It's got chromium to help stabilize your blood glucose levels, something like, I want to say 9 calories, but I think it might be 13 calories. And it's plant-based caffeine, so it gives you this really slow high, keeps you high for way longer, and a really slow low. So you tend to only need 1 or 2 a day. I have one first thing in the morning in my greens, and it tastes delicious, and then I have one like after lunch. These are life. So just to recap, we forget how good you can feel until you actually realize how good you're supposed to feel. And optimal health for me today looks like no more constant headaches, bloating, stomach pains. I wake before my alarm. I jump out of bed. I'm always full of energy. I'm never, ever sick. I'm trying to touch, but I can't remember the last time I was ill. And I feel so much healthier today in my 40s than I ever did in my 20s. So that's all from me. I would love for Charlotte to unmute and just give us tell us what's been happening about you.
What's been happening? Okay, so I first came across Arbonne because I knew Carol previously, and I saw her Facebook posts, and the thing that pulled me in was the fizz sticks, of which I have a lot, different flavors. I love them. Basically, I always got into a slump after lunch when I was working, no energy, wanting to fall asleep at my desk kind of thing, and I'd have like a Coke Zero or a Lucozade. And Carol put a post up on Facebook one day basically saying, if you're having a Coke Zero or something like that, this is what it contains. Do you realise what you're drinking? You could be having one of these. And I was like, oh my goodness, she's right. It does contain absolute rubbish. I'm not doing my body any favours. I'll give it a go. And for me, you know, it was game changing. I absolutely love the fizz. When I first got them, I thought you could only have one a day. So happy when I found out you could have two. I could have two of these delicious drinks every day. It was great. I actually don't have one in the morning first thing. Maybe I should, I don't know. I'll give that a go at some point. So I tend to have it, yeah, after lunch. And then if I'm feeling a slump later, then I'll have another one. But if not, I don't need to. So that was what brought me in, you know, and I was really pleased that rather than having, you know, all the nasties that are in things like Coke Zero and Lucozade, I was actually having a drink that had got, you know, added B vitamins and no nasty sweeteners and naturally derived caffeine. So that's what pulled me in. So I was having those, like I said, about 2 years ago, I started on those. And then last year, like you'll have seen on my Facebook post, I got to the stage where I was just feeling really uncomfortable in myself, particularly like when I put on my jeans and they really didn't want to do up. And I was just at that stage of thinking, right, do I go out and buy new clothes? No problem if I do that. Or do I actually take control of, you know, what I'm eating and try and make myself healthier? And I am rubbish at diets, absolutely rubbish. I cannot stick to anything that leaves me hungry, because if I feel hungry, I feel sick. So, you know, that wasn't going to happen for me. And then Carol put a post on Facebook talking about 15 days to healthy living. In fact, I think I saw, first of all, 30 days to healthy living, and I was like, can't stick to anything for 30 days, me. Can't do that. And then a bit later, I saw 15 days to healthy living. I thought, 15 days, okay, just over 2 weeks. I can do that. You know, I'm sure I can manage 15 days. And that was when I then spoke to Carol and found out that, you know, it's not something where I'm going to be starving hungry. Yes, you need to be organised. You need to make sure that you've got the healthy foods in the house, you know, that you've got your snacks that you can have that are going to be healthy and that are going to be nourishing and they're going to fill you up. And the protein shakes, you know, they're just amazing. They are great at filling you up. I mean, today I ended up having one for lunch just because of what I was doing today. Yeah, and that was great for me. And you know, I know that I'm getting my vitamins from it. I'm getting all the goodness from it as well. So I don't feel like I'm missing out. But having said that, sometimes, so I've got two different types of protein shakes. I have got the one, the official name being the meal replacement, and I have got one as well that's just called Simply. And if I have that alongside other foods. So sometimes, you know, if I'm after lunch, if I'm a bit hungry, I can have, you know, the Simply shake. It's not that I'm taking loads and loads of calories in, but I am getting loads of goodness. I'm getting, you know, the extra protein. And I remember a friend telling me, probably about a year ago or so, that, you know, at this age, because, you know, I had symptoms that made me think I'm perimenopausal. And she said, you know, at this age, we need to be having more protein in our diet. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just eat loads of chicken. But there's only so much chicken one person can eat. Yeah, and protein does come in other forms, in other foods, absolutely. But, you know, for me, being able to have it in a shake is brilliant, you know, and I know that I'm getting good protein in there. And then, you know, the other side of it is eating healthily. So, you know, from speaking with Carol, it's having half a plate of salad or vegetables, you know, making sure you've got lots of greens in there as well. I grow spinach in the garden. It's great. I've got it on tap. I love the products. And I got to the stage where I decided to become an independent consultant, but I didn't really have the oomph in me to make it, you know, to start basically. And I was at my dance class a couple of months ago, and before I went, so I normally go in my leggings, and Kate's on here, she'll tell you, and my Fitsteps top, which is quite baggy. And this particular day, I looked in my drawer and I hadn't got my Fitsteps top, which is baggy, and my other top that I would normally take as a second one, I'd already used that week as well and was in the wash. I'm like, oh, I'll put this one on. And it was really tight fitting. And I looked at them, I'm like, oh, that's a bit tight. Oh, never mind, I've got to get going. So off I went to dance. And at the end of the class, one of the girls came up to me and she was like, what have you been doing? You look amazing. And I was like, oh, thank you. Well, I did the Arbonne 15 days last year, and then just kept it up basically on an 80-20 rule, because that was the thing, that once I'd done it, I then wanted to stay healthy. Yes, I have cakes every now and then, who doesn't, you know, and love my dark chocolate. But you know, it's having things in moderation and making sure that most of the time I'm eating really well. You know, and I now keep the protein in the cupboard. Like I say, I had one today. You know, I don't necessarily have to have one every day all year round. But you know, I've just done 30 days again, you know, where I was having the protein every day, and it does make you feel amazing. So yeah, so this friend of mine anyway at dance, she became my first client. She wanted to know what I'd done. I told her, she was like, sign me up now. And I think the thing is, you know, it's not all about weight loss. I don't want people to think that this isn't a diet. This is changing your mindset, changing the way that you eat. And those of you close to me who see me a lot will know that that Nick is a bit of a yo-yo dieter. And I think it's just so unhealthy. And I hate that the kids see him doing that. I want them to know that's not how you deal, you know, with your body shape. You know, if you're unhappy with your body shape, you do something that's going to be lasting, that's going to stay with you. So that's quite important for me, you know, and yeah, we do have a go at him every now and then. Stop yo-yoing. If he stayed at home all the time, I could control what he ate and it'd be great. But he's such a sweet fiend. The other thing that I will just mention while I'm on here, all of you know me well enough to know that Sam has ADHD. And a friend once told me, a friend who she herself has ADHD, she said that caffeine works differently for people with ADHD, that caffeine can actually make people with ADHD focus more. And I was like, that's really odd, you know, because I always kept Sam off caffeine products as much as possible, you know, things like Coke and that. I was just like, oh, no, don't want him having those. He'll be absolutely hyper. Turns out that it was the sugar that made him more hyper than anything. So when I got these fizz sticks, I said to Sam at some point, right, let's give it a go. Have one, see how you feel. And now, if he were here, he would absolutely tell you that he finds, and this is obviously one case, you know, might not work for all, but he finds that these really help him concentrate. So I'll often find, you know, when he's getting ready for school, he'll hand in the cupboard, pinch one of those to take to school with me. You know, before he has his science tuition session, he always has, you know, a fizz stick on the go during the session, because for him, he finds that that really works. I'm sorry, we've gone over time. So I'm going to wind up now by saying, you know, huge thank you to all of you for joining. It really does mean so much to me that you've supported me by coming on this call and listening to the lovely Carol. Huge thank you to Carol, who has said everything so much more eloquently than I ever could do at this stage. She is a tower of knowledge in this arena, which is amazing. If any of you do have any questions after the call, please do, you know, get in contact with me. If I don't know the answer, I will defer to Carol and we will get the answer back to you. But yeah, I really do appreciate it. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, everyone. I think we can end it there. She's done it all. Well done, Charlotte.
Okay.
Like I said at the beginning, this is word of mouth business. So the main thing is Charlotte's friends, I don't know if family on, friends, is just, if you come across anyone who whatever you've heard tonight might help them, just refer them back to Charlotte. Just like when we're all together and someone says, oh, where did you get those shoes from? And you're like, oh, I got them from River Island. Oh, what's the link? And you send the link and you don't think anything of it. This is exactly the same. So anything that you've heard that could help someone else that you can refer back to Charlotte, then I would love you to do that. And she's just been so super brave. So I'm so proud of you. So well done.
Thank you.
And we're looking for people all the time that just want to make a start and make a few healthy changes. So just message Charlotte. There's a 90-day money back guarantee. No worries if not. We just hope you learned something tonight. And she looks amazing, doesn't she?
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
stop
everyone.
recording. Take care, everyone.
Speak to you soon. Bye.